Good afternoon
Okay.
and welcome to the 2013 April webinar from retirementhomes.com. This month we present Chris Bint of the Elder Technology Assistance Group, or ETAG, which specializes in providing technology education and support to adults ages 55 and over. Today Chris will share with us some great tips for the best technological applications for seniors and baby boomers. Now please welcome Chris.
Thank you very, very much, Rob. It's a pleasure meeting with all of you today on this webinar. I do love technology and the great possibilities it creates, and this is an exact example of that. So welcome, everybody. I do hope that you find this information helpful. As Rob said, ETAG is devoted to enhancing the lives of adults 55 plus through technology, education, and support. There's a number of ways that we do that, but it's important to understand that as an organization, we're a not-for-profit founded in 2008, and we're heavily supported by the Ontario Trillium Foundation and our other community partners that include the Centre for Education and Training, as well as the New Horizons for Seniors program. And the gear of our organization is to offer free of charge technology education and support for adults 55 plus. We have different programs individuals can plug into on a weekly basis where they can have one-on-one assistance. We also do large group lecture style series where we cover all of the great things that today's technology provides for us. So why is it that ETAG focuses on helping older adults learn about technology? Well, a lot of it has to do with this kind of scenario here, where you have younger generations using a vocabulary that are, a little bit different than the vocabulary that the older adults in the community might be familiar with. So this young man in the example talks about YouTube and posting an iPad video on his Facebook profile. And Nana here says, "What's a YouTube?" She's really sort of confused about the fourth word in his sentence. She doesn't really understand what he's talking about at all. So ETAG really tries to help people understand the words that we're using today, the technologies, the hardware, and all the benefits that come from these different things. So a few key points about technology before we get started. It is an essential tool for communication. With all the technological tools we have available to us today, we've never been able to communicate with the world around us as easy as we can now. Things like cell phones or smartphones with internet connections, tools like Skype, also tools offered by Google that allow you to make free calls in North America. These are all very, very useful tools for communication. Everybody should have access to these things. Technology also creates a lot of opportunities and choices for people that know how to use it. For instance, signing out books from the library without ever needing to visit a library, or maybe it's as simple as doing some online banking and staying in control of your finances while you're living in a new residence. Finally, it provides a sense of freedom and independence for those that are able to use it. We have the freedom to get any information we want whenever it is we want it, but we need to understand how to use technology and the internet to get the answers we're looking for. So we're able to Google something at 2 o'clock in the morning about health information that we're interested in, or perhaps we'd like to buy a book from Amazon.com to ship it to our friend for their birthday. It provides us a lot of freedoms and it gives us a lot of independence in our day-to-day. But again, it's important to understand how to use technology so that you can benefit from these great things. The bottom line really is that technology is essential in our digital world today. So let's get started then on today's discussion about what technologies are going to be most helpful for seniors in the community that are interested in taking on the newer things that are out there. So we're going to be talking a little bit about apps and tablets. Now, there's a lot of different tablets available on the market, and they are the leading technology in today's digital society. So everyone's moving towards the idea that we can hold this smaller device, touch it with our fingertips, and have it be very easy to control for just about everybody. No need to learn how to use a mouse, no need to learn how to use a keyboard. Everything's sort of designed from the ground up to be super simple for everybody to understand. So there's lots of different brands that float around out there, so I'll just point at a couple of the more mainstream versions. We have the Android tablets, which there's various manufacturers for them, including Sony, also including Asus. There's also the BlackBerry Playbook, obviously made by BlackBerry. We have the iPad series, which there's a number of them, including a mini version that's about half the size of the original. That's put out by Apple. It's a very popular choice. We have the Microsoft Surface, which is also gaining traction in the market, as it's only been out since about October of 2012. Again, they're all a little bit different than one another, but the ideas behind them are the same. You hold a small screen in your hand, you touch it, anything that you touch responds to it on the screen, visually and sometimes audibly as well. Finally, we have products put out that are combination devices, things by Kobo called the Arc. That's going to be actually an e-reader and a tablet computer all in one. So it focuses on the reading experience while at the same time giving you some of the convenience and luxury of the tablets, like accessing the internet, Facebook, and email, to name just a few things. So why would you think maybe that a tablet is a good option? Number one, I think I already mentioned that it's the newest technology trend, and from our experience as an organization who teaches older adults about technology, it's always wise to stay with what's most current because that's what's available to people. So that said, as we move forward, we're going to move more towards these touchscreen devices, so we should all be thinking about getting that sort of technology in our hands so that we're equipped for what's to come in the near future. Also from experience, we found that it's very lightweight, and because of that, it's easy to control one of these tablets with one hand. So some of what ETAG does involves visiting retirement homes and long-term care centers, and we take technology in these places and help people learn how to use it. And we always find that versus the computer, most people have a better experience on their first try with technology using something that's more tablet-oriented. Also, a really good option for tablets is that it supports some of the most common things that people do with a traditional computer. For example, email, Facebook, Skype, and as well as Google are all supported on virtually every tablet. So if that seems to be within your realm of normal computer or technology use, a tablet is definitely something that you could consider because it will successfully do all of these things very well. Also, a big plus for a tablet is that it's easy to use for somebody that's interested in making text and images bigger on the screen, just to make it easier to see. A lot of people don't like computers because of the difficulty looking at a screen for a long period of time and the process in making things bigger and smaller for the user's purposes. On a tablet, it's as simple as squeezing your fingers together to zoom out and pulling them apart to zoom in on the screen. So everything seems very natural when you're using a tablet in that way with regards to controls. One great benefit of having a tablet is that it's easy to bring with you to show others so that you can get help with it. In addition, you might want to share some photographs that you've taken or perhaps a video tour of your garden, but another really handy thing is being able to give that to somebody that you know, bring it to their house and say, hey, would you mind giving me a hand with this? It's easy for you to do that when you have such a small device like a tablet. One point that a lot of people don't necessarily know is that when you hear of these things called apps, there's a lot of them that are not available, and when I say a lot, I mean most apps are not available on the computer or on a laptop. They're specifically designed to be used on tablets, and because of that, this is another reason why we should keep up with this newest technology so we can benefit from all these new apps that are coming out. I will spend a few minutes just telling you a little bit more about apps. It's easier to use, I would say, than a computer. Plain and simple. It doesn't take as long to teach somebody how to use a tablet because there's not as much control in terms of mouse control and keyboard control and understanding how to open programs and menus on a computer. We don't have to cover that on a tablet. Rather, we just touch the app that we want and then we learn the few steps to operate that app. Finally, There's no wires, keyboard, or mouse involved, which means it's very easy to just take this device, sit on the couch. You don't need an office, you don't need a computer desk, you simply need a coffee table that could hold a book. That's all the space a tablet would need, and now it's very convenient for you to just move it around with you. Imagine as well the idea of walking around your house while you're looking at a tablet and seeing your friend or your family member on your screen and being able to give them a tour of the place where you are and being able to hand the tablet off to somebody else to have a conversation with them. Maybe it's a son or a daughter who's visiting and you're having them communicate with somebody else. It's a really great thing to not have these wires and keyboards and mice holding us back from having this very convenient and intimate experience using tablets. So very, very beneficial point. So I mentioned this word app, and quite often when we're going through our lessons with new users, they're questioning what exactly an app is. So to be fair and simple, an app is simply an application. It's a slang word that was used for marketing when tablets first came out. They wanted to make the word application seem a little more user-friendly, so we start calling them apps. It also sounds a little nicer, you know, sounds a little more hip. So an app typically represents software applications on a mobile device, such as a tablet or even a smartphone. Lots of tablet functionality in terms of the way that they work and the way that you operate them is also very similar to that of the operations in the smartphones. For instance, the Android Samsung Galaxy phone or maybe an iPhone 5, they would work very similar in operation to a tablet of the same brand. Now, an app typically focuses on a particular task or a selection of related tasks. So what I mean by that is pretty simple. If you had an app, it would try and focus on accomplishing one particular thing. So for instance, if you had a camera app, it would give you the ability to take photos, but it would also give you the ability to look at the photos that you have taken. So that's what I mean by a selection of related tasks. You're able to use the camera, but you're also able to view the photos. What it wouldn't do is it wouldn't give you a link to your maps within that app. Rather, you would have to leave the camera app and open up a Maps app instead, or rather a Skype app instead. The camera app wouldn't give you the same function as the Skype app. They would keep those things completely separated. So there's an awful lot of common apps that are going to span across just about every tablet that's available today on the market. So I already mentioned a couple of them. Cameras are going to be on every single tablet you encounter. Not only that, but these cameras are able to take video, and some of them are actually quite high quality video. So it's great for sharing with your family and friends all over the world. Secondly, the map, I did bring that up again, but you're also able to have them enabled with GPS. So you can be walking around in the park, seeing exactly where you are and where it is you're going. For some reason, we find that weather information is super essential on tablets. So every tablet is going to come with a weather app. What you're able to do with that is quite interesting. You can customize it to know your exact location so that it reflects the weather exactly where you are. Not only that, but you can pre-program other locations into it so that if you know somebody that lives at the other side of the country, you can also get updates on what their weather is like as well. All tablets are also going to have some sort of a contact book. This is where you're able to keep phone numbers, addresses, email addresses, and any other details about individuals you know in your life. You're able to keep these files right in your tablet so it's always at your fingertips ready to go. Facebook is very, very popular across the world. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of them before. There's 900 million users and growing. So Facebook is a very, very big network of people over the internet, and the tablet app for Facebook allows you to do anything that you can on a computer but rather on a tablet instead. So you're able to share photographs, you're able to comment on people's photographs as well, you can view different people's profiles, and you can also post up websites, everything very similar to what Facebook does on a computer, only they've translated it onto a tablet to be a nice touch feel instead. A very, very popular app is YouTube, and that's because the videos available through YouTube are super helpful for people to have access to. If you want to learn how to cook a certain dish, if you want to learn how to play a particular song on the guitar, if you want to learn how to prune your lilac bush, YouTube will have a video of how to do that. All you have to do is open up the app and ask it to show you a video of the thing you want to learn about. Don't be fooled though, you don't only have to learn with YouTube. You could also look up concerts from your favorite musicians. You could also look up comedians or old television shows that you enjoy watching. There's so much content on YouTube. You should definitely give it a try. All tablets also support email, so whatever your email address, whether you have a Hotmail address or a Gmail address or some sort of an email that has come from your internet service provider, all of these different emails are able to be set up and used on your tablet. So it's very simple. Once it's done, it's set and you're ready to go. We also have calculators built into our tablets just so that that functionality is available if ever we need it. I can personally say that I pull a calculator up every couple of days, so it is a handy tool to have available. Internet browsing is very common on a tablet, and that typically is because a tablet is easy to control with one hand sitting on the couch, so when you're doing a Google search, it's almost as though you're reading a magazine by clicking on the links and just looking at all the different information. So you have Google Chrome available, you have your other web browsers like Safari available as well. The bottom line is all they do is view the internet, and that's exactly what a tablet is very good at doing, viewing the internet, reading things that you like off the internet. That's what they're very, very good at doing. I mentioned Skype already. That provides us the ability to do video chat with our family and friends around the world that also have access to Skype. So if you've never used it before, it's a free service that allows you to either only use your voice, or you could also do video to have chat. I advise that you have a pretty substantial internet connection. They would call that high-speed internet if you intend to use Skype. Otherwise, the experience tends to be what they call a little bit choppy, so the video won't match exactly with the audio. But for a free tool, and again, all of these things are free, so for a free tool, that's a great opportunity for us to have. Tablets also come with comprehensive calendars that you can also use as different alarms and notifications for things that come up in your day. So if you have an appointment, your tablet's calendar can notify you on the screen an hour before that appointment is coming up, just to remind you that it's happening. You can also share your calendar with different individuals that you wanted to know sort of what you're up to, or they can add things to your calendar just in case that's necessary. Finally, all tablets are used a lot for entertainment and media consumption. So one thing that's very popular is MP3s and music. So all tablets are going to be able to play your music that you've gotten from either iTunes or some sort of other music website that you're able to download MP3s from. Just a little word of advice as well, you are able to visit your local library and actually get some music from them that you can be loading onto your tablet as well. So there's always great ways to be plugging into technology so that you can entertain yourself as well as educate yourself. So I just wanted to point at a couple of notable apps before we head off for today. These are things that I felt you would find some value in. One app is TED. And what TED is, it's a bunch of video lectures from some of the smartest people all around the world talking about topics that are very important for us to know. Whether it be about technology and science, whether it be about education, whether it be about business. They've got all sorts of really informative lectures from some of the smartest people around the world. So I really encourage you to get this app, check it out, and educate yourself on what's going on out there in the world. Something else that's very popular these days is an app called Flipboard. And what Flipboard does is it creates a personalized magazine for each individual user of the app. So what you do is you set it up with your own personal preferences. So if you like sports, if you like celebrity gossip, if you like philosophy and science and photography, you would indicate all of these interests to Flipboard, and each day when you use this app, it would scour the internet and find interesting articles for you based on the topics that you indicated you liked. So it's very, very personalized magazine sort of experience, and again, with the tablet and the touch screen, you actually interact with it as though you're turning a page of a magazine. So it's quite a unique experience. I definitely recommend it. Netflix is another super popular tool on tablets and on computers for that matter, and what this does is provides people with very cheap media to watch instead of television. So you can watch movies and TV shows from Netflix, and you download these videos, rather stream them over the internet, and they're playing on our tablets and our computers all over the place. So it's definitely a cost-effective way of having access to lots of movies and television shows. And again, the app itself is free, but there is a monthly subscription. StumbleUpon is very similar to Flipboard, but instead of it being a magazine, it's more so based on websites. So you're not going to necessarily get articles as much as you will get websites from StumbleUpon. So very similarly, you're going to give it your preferences on the different topics that you're interested in, and what it does is it looks around the internet and finds different websites that it thinks you would be interested in based on your preferences. You never know what's going to come up, and I can't be held responsible if you stay up past 1 in the morning seeing what one more stumble will bring onto your screen. So I can't be held responsible if you get addicted. Isaac is a really interesting app, and what it does is it creates a search engine which is similar to something like Google or Bing or Yahoo, which you might be more familiar with on a computer. But what Isaac does is it designs the search engine to be displayed on a tablet specifically. So instead of only giving you certain kinds of information, it gives you all sorts of different kinds of information about your topic of choice at one time. So for instance, if we looked up the word cat, it would give us information in writing about cats. It would also give us videos about cats. It would find news articles that are recent about cats. It would find photographs of cats, and so on and so forth. So it's going to provide all these different types of information to you at once, rather than asking you to be more specific about the type of information you want. So it's really designed to be only used on a tablet, and again, it's to sort out the information that you would typically find in any other search engine like Google or Bing. Songza is one of my favorite apps right now. I am a music enthusiast, and Songza gives me virtually an unlimited playlist of different music from any genre that I could imagine. All I have to do is have an internet connection on my tablet, and I'm able to just turn Songza on and have it play my favorite musical genres all day long for free. So it's very simple. All you need to do is tell it the kind of music you want, and you push play, and it starts to go until the playlist finishes. So sometimes those playlists will be 4 or 5 hours long. So if you're hosting a dinner party, you could have a 4-hour dinner jazz musical stream accompany the entire dinner party, and you'd never have to interact with the music. So very, very helpful tool, especially if you're a music enthusiast like myself. Finally, I wanted to point out an app that a lot of people are talking about these days. It's called Pinterest. And the idea behind Pinterest, it's sort of a pin board that people get to indicate what they find interesting on the internet. So each individual user of Pinterest is given their own account, and then they're able to indicate different things that they like that they've found on the internet. This information is then shared with anybody else that they're associated to over Pinterest. So with any other technology, It's all up to the individual person. So some people like certain apps and some people like other ones. So I'm just trying to give you a wide overview of different things that you might be interested in checking out. But again, not every app is for every person. So give them a try and see what's going to work best for you and what you find the most value in. But the important part to recognize is there's always something for everybody with technology. It's just up to all of us to give it a try and sort of give it an honest effort to learn the skills needed to do this stuff. So because of all of the incredible opportunities modern technology creates for us, we should all stay informed about what's out there and how to use it. Those that don't know how to use technology, they're simply not able to use it and benefit from it the way that those of us that are capable of doing. So I always promote, learn as much about technology as you can. You will definitely appreciate it later. So again, my name is Chris Bint. I am the Executive Director from ETAG. It was an absolute pleasure meeting with all of you today over this webinar. Again, I do love technology, and I think that this is a great way to connect and share information across the internet. Feel free to visit ETAG at our website. You can visit that at etagonline.ca. And I encourage you, if you'd like, please do connect with retirementhomes.com. My good friend Robert, his email is on the screen, and you can get in touch with him whenever you like. So thanks very, very much.
Thank you very much, Chris, again for that fascinating presentation. Again, that was Chris Bint from ETAG speaking on some of the various applications specially suited and which will be great for adults 55 and over. Next month, join us as we explore the best financial tips to help retirees and seniors save to the age of 100. So once again, email me at robert@retirementhomes.com to be up to date on all future webinars. Thank you very much.